talk a little bit about Heaven Upside Down by Marilyn Manson. It can be summed up really simply, but I understand that you guys are going to want a little bit more. This is the second album that Manson's released ever since he's gone independent. And with his last disc, I felt that independence was going to be this bold new era of Marilyn Manson, and it was going to make for a lot of unique instrumentals and fantastic compositions. And then we got to Heaven Upside Down. And a lot of these feel like Marilyn Manson, quite honestly, on autopilot. That's as simple as I can sadly make it, and there's not much more that can be wrapped around it, as sad as that is to say. You know, whenever you've heard the Revolution 12s and We Know Where You Fucking Live befores on albums such as Holy Wood, or even going as far back as Antichrist Superstar Smells Like Children, where you start to understand some of the philosophies and understand some of the bare bones, you know, compositions that Manson has been delivering now for more than 20 years, then you realize that this was not exactly the artistic wonderland that we thought that it was going to be, until you get to a track such as Saturanella. And here's why I pick out that song, and I know so often it seems like I pick out the one song that I really love and really attach on, that's the longer track. Such a prog thing to do, right? But you take a look at every other song on this album hovering around that 4 to 4.5 minute mark. You take a listen to these songs that feel like they could be a part of just about any elder era of Manson's discography, with some modern influence, with a little bit more of that turn back the clock, wind it style that Manson was able to give us a little taste of on his last disc, but it really explores somewhat in detail on this one. Then you'll understand why Saturanella felt so unique. This 8-minute track just right in the middle, with essentially 2 songs worth of material that needed to be filled in order to have this runtime run to its completion. And you just get this brooding, this track that just feels like it has so much more character and life that surrounds it and is able to deliver. Now, I understand a lot of purists are going to absolutely fall in love with songs such as Satan, either that or maybe even Blood Honey or Jesus Crisis, but these are tracks that, again, like I said, felt like they could exist in any era of Manson's discography and do not really represent the wonderland of being independent. Now, I understand that being independent means you can make an album like this. This could be your philosophy. But Manson is also an artist that is getting a little bit older, and it feels like this was a disc where kind of just the ball felt a bit dropped, at least in my opinion. And this is coming from a guy who's listened to Manson ever since, you know, the Smells Like Children days, and always thought like he sort of had a leg up whenever it came to at least sounding a little bit more creatively, inspired than a lot of the other, a lot of that other new metal, or a lot of that music that was coming out from the latter 90s, and it just felt like it had a little bit more to offer. This just feels like it falls a little short. Now, that being said, on my personal feeling, it's kind of like that truck that just passed by. I'm ad-libbing this, I don't care. It's kind of like that truck that passed by. It's really, really big, and it's really, really loud. But that doesn't make it really, really good. That's all I can say. If I were to give this a real score, I would probably paint it as a 15 out of 30. Middle of the road, has a darn good darn good track in Saturanella. It has a couple of other ones that are, really kind of par for the course or slightly above average, but nothing that just blows me away. That's just me, though. If you disagree with this review, that's fine. I still love you. I'll talk to you next time.